Hello fellow psychology lovers, thank you for tuning in. In this short video, we'll be discussing one of the most well-known and widely embraced theories of psychology, which is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. But then we'll focus particularly on the point that what was once considered to be the peak of that hierarchy is no longer considered to be the peak. Self-actualization, while very important, is no longer considered to be our highest need. So Maslow is of Abraham Maslow, who was one of the pioneers of Humanistic Psychology, which is a branch of psychology that emerged in the 1950s in response to the fact that up until that point, psychology was heavily focused on the question of what's wrong with people? Why are people so emotionally unstable and neurotic and pathological? And while those are important questions, that's not the whole picture of human psychology. As Maslow put it, that's just the sick half of psychology. And humanistic psychology attempted to supply the healthy half of psychology. The question of why are people mentally healthy? Why are people flourishing? What is the psychology of thriving? So these were the questions that guided humanistic psychology and guided Maslow's work. Maslow proposed the theory known as the hierarchy of needs, which is simple. It's based on this idea that we are motivated to meet our needs, and that some of these needs are more basic, more urgent than others. And the gist of the theory is we are primarily motivated to meet whatever lowest level need is not being met. So if the biological needs for food, water, shelter, fresh air, or sleep are not being met, nothing will matter more than that. If the need for safety and security is not being met, if your life is in danger, that will take precedent over your need for love or self-esteem or anything else. So that's the idea, and there's plenty we can say about each of the tiers of the hierarchy. We'll save some of that for other videos, but what we'll zoom in on is self-actualization. So initially there were 5 tiers on the pyramid. Self-actualization was the peak, but then there was an expansion of the hierarchy to include 3 more levels: cognitive needs, which are the need for mental stimulation, the need to learn things that are not actually necessary for your survival, just the need to pursue your interests, and then the need to create and experience beauty. And then, placed above self-actualization, is the need for transcendence. So self-actualization was defined by Maslow as the ongoing process of actualizing potentials, capacities, and talents, the fulfillment of personal mission, the knowledge of and acceptance of one's own intrinsic nature, and of an unceasing trend toward unity within oneself. That is self-actualization. And again, it's very important that a person has the opportunity to do this, and that the more basic needs are met so that they can apply all of their energy to self-actualization. But self-actualization is not an end in itself. It's not the end goal. According to the current version of the theory, transcendence surpasses self-actualization. It's a higher level need. So what does that mean? Transcendence means to go beyond personal interest, to no longer be primarily focused on personal prosperity. Transcendence gives purpose to self-actualization. Becoming the best version of yourself just for the sake of being the best version of yourself just isn't really good enough for people. It's not motivating enough. But to become the best version of yourself so that you can uplift others, so that you can help solve the problems of the world, so that you can go beyond selfish desires, that makes self-actualization meaningful. And that is what self-actualization leads to. It's beautiful to think that a person has their needs met and they develop their self-esteem and their relationships throughout life. They develop their mind, they develop their craft, they actualize their potentials, and then they dedicate it to something or someone beyond their own personal gain. And this is the peak of the pyramid. What psychologists have realized is that by nature, humans are relational, and therefore to propose a theory where our highest need is to actualize ourselves and become the best version of ourselves is incomplete, because it would be meaningless to become the best version of yourself if that didn't benefit others. And so now we understand that the peak of human motivation is actually quite selfless. It is to go beyond yourself and to become the best version of yourself at every stage of your life so that you can go beyond yourself and your own personal interest. This is what is completely fulfilling for people. Thank you for watching.
If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe.